Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. To my paid subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about and discussing the relation between Donald Trump, the President of the United States, versus Harvard University. And what's going to come of it. We're going to find out what's the fate, where it's heading, what's the likely outcome. We're going to go through all that in today's video. This video is going to be kind of on the shorter side, but I figured I'd make the video because why not? We have never talked about the 45 versus education. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead. Let's just begin. Let's see what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to come of this video. I am doing a blind reading. I know some information. I know that Harvard University has just posted recently that they're planning to give free tuition. Well, not free tuition, but free classes, online classes for people to take education classes on how to fight fascism 101, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to take a look at how Harvard is going to do against 45 and how what 45 you're going to try to do against Harvard. So that's what we're going to find in today's video. Now this video is being recorded on none other than Thursday, May 29th at 12:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as in when I am recording this specific video. If you want to help out the channel, where you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with this content, or sharing this video with others, or watching the video longer than normal, all help the algorithm. So much so that you guys actually show up on the community spotlight for a week. So just do that, and I'll be able to announce your name every Monday. Anyway, let's go ahead, let's begin. This video just for entertainment purposes only, for educational purposes only as well. If you want to follow my Blue Sky account or my Facebook group, it's in the description and the comment section below. If you want to be notified personally by me, in case YouTube does not notify you when I do post and upload. And there is a donation link, per your request. Not my preference, but it's what you guys want. So I am going to honor what you guys want, but don't feel obligated in any way, any particular way to donate. All right, guys. Let's go ahead, let's begin, let's just start this thing. I don't know what we're walking into, so let's go there. All right, so Spirits and Angels, tell me about Harvard University. Harvard University against 45. Now, before I do begin, I kind of feel like I kind of want to shuffle the cards a bit. Because I feel like I haven't done this in a while, like a hot shuffle. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a hot shuffle for right now, just so we can get a little bit more accurate information. Okay. Okay. Do one more time. You see, I'm not very good at shuffling, but it gets the job done. Does not matter how you do it, as long as you do it. Okay. So Spirit Angel, tell me, how should we do this? Because they tell me to kind of like go like this with the cards. I haven't only done that in one video, and it actually went pretty well. So I have a feeling we're going to do this again for Harvard. Actually, I have a feeling I should actually ask the question first, because they don't even know what they're answering. Spirit Angels, tell me, Harvard University's fate. Harvard University's fate. Okay, well, this is the conservative. This is more like a liberal. So, neoliberal. Okay, you ready? Harvard University's fate. Harvard University's fate. Okay. Okay, there you go. We got 3 cards. This is the final outcome card. Alright, so, we'll take a look at Harvard University's fate. The first card that comes in is the Ten of Pentacles reverse. The Ten of Pentacles reverse means lower admission, lower amount of students, a lower amount of income, a lower amount of money. There's something here that's financially restrictive. That's the first card that comes in. The next card that comes in is moving from trouble into smoother, calmer waters. Right? I'm hearing the word bridge. Harvard University is going through a bridge period right now. It's going through a transition from trouble into brighter days, brighter outcomes. Like that's the center here. Now, it also means it's going to go through some turmoil, which is kind of like where this company is or university is at the moment. And what is the card that comes in the future? We have a decision that they have to make. A decision that they're going to have to make. And with the eyes closed, there's almost like, it almost feels like they're left with no choice. There's something here that's telling me that they're left with no choice. And what is it? Find an outcome card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of wands here, 9 of wands reversed. It almost doesn't feel like the university is going to disappear, but it almost feels like in some way, if there was something here in the motion, in the current future, in essence, for Harvard, there might be something that might come up where it might question the legitimacy of Harvard University, or better yet, it might even put into the question for Harvard University, particularly whether or not its existence or pre-existence is to exist. But it feels very much like if they don't exist for a little bit, they're always going to find its way back. So it doesn't feel like it's going to be permanent. So if 45 for whatever reason managed to get rid of Harvard University, it's not something that goes away. It's something that always comes back. It's kind of like sparkles, if you will. Like you can get rid of as much sparkles as you can, but there's always sparkles somewhere, right? That's kind of like what it felt like. It felt like there will always be a way that Harvard finds its way back, right? So that's what I'm getting. Let's see. What is on the top of the card here? We have the King of Cups reversed. We have a chaotic leader causing chaos, right? That is number one. And then the bottom of the deck, let's take a look here. We have here the 10 of swords here, betrayal, backstab, death, and then of some sort. So like I said, it does feel very much so like when you start to look at all the information here, we said financial trouble, not a lot of students coming in. It makes a lot of sense to look at things that 45 is doing to restrict Harvard University. Again, this is not science. This is not a psychic prediction. This is rooted in pure fact. This is not something that, somebody will say, oh, I predict this. No, no, no. This is not a prediction. This is really factual, okay? So don't think this is a prediction at all. Here you have the Six of Swords, which is indicating that there is going to go through some trouble, but there is a bridge here. There is something here that's bridging, and it's bridging them towards a decision that they have to make. A decision. And even if that decision means that they have to disappear for a little bit, Harvard University will always find its way back. Always. And here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of wands reversed. It's not going to be injured. It almost feels like it's going to come roaring back as if it would never left the first place. This is going to be due because of, a chaotic leader and a betrayal, an ending of some sort. This is the bottom, right? So remember, the betrayal causing problems, trying to cause the death of education, right? Anything else you'd like to add? And here, of course, the card came up before. Here is the Queen of Swords, legal, the legal system. The legal system is not going to come in favor for Harvard University, doesn't feel. Is that true? They're telling me actually that's not true. They're telling me that's not true. What are you trying to tell me from here? I'm listening. I'm clairaudient. What does the card mean, Spirit? The Queen of Swords reverse. This is the legal system. I'm hearing they're not going to come through for something, but they're telling me it's not going to cause the collapse of Harvard. But they're telling me here that it's not going to work out in favor of education. So whatever this court system is or this legal system is, it's not going to work in favor of education, higher education. And card that come with it coincide is the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, this thing is already in motion. This is not something that's waiting to be put in motion. This is happening now. So this is either behind the scenes or we're going to start to see it in full frontal daylight. So this is where we are here. We're in this period. We're about to enter this period now. So we're entering this, and this is enabled by the Knight of Pentacles, which is telling me this has been full motion. So this is moving ahead. So something's moving ahead already with Harvard and its fate. So Harvard is going to go through some turmoil. Going to have to make a decision. If it causes an ending of Harvard temporarily, Harvard will come back. That's if and only if 45 is successful at doing that. We don't know exactly, but we'll find out. Okay, so so now that we know Harvard's fate and where that's currently heading, let's go ahead and let's pin 45 versus Harvard. So give me the energy, Spirit, for 45. Okay, they're telling me this is the overall energy between both. Is this my bias? Is this my bias? Is this my bias? I'm here now. So I just wanted to double check it. I wanted to ask you, like, okay, if I put Harvard here, am I being biased because of the 10 of cups? Or am I putting Trump here because I'm being biased because of the four swords? You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I'm being openly transparent, not only with myself, but also with you guys and the spiritual world to make sure that I'm not in any way influencing the reading. Okay, so Spirit Angel, tell me who's going here. Actually, I'll let you guys decide. You decide that. Give me 4 cards, or 3 cards for either Donald Trump or Harvard University. Pin them both together. What is the energy between Harvard and Donald Trump, the President of the United States, or the White House, whatever you want to put? Just give me the information for this side. Let me know who this is. Okay, they're telling me it might be Harvard, but we'll know in a minute. Give me energy, whether this is Donald Trump or Harvard University. On the right side, where the 4 of swords is, when you pin them both together, what is the energy when you put the President of the United States versus Harvard University? Or higher education, however you want to put it, but specifically Harvard. We have here the Ace of Swords, victory, defeating the incumbent, defeating the power that may be. So this is telling me here that both are going to fail in some regard. So 45 is going to fail on something. When it's going up against Harvard, Harvard is going to go up against 45 and it's going to fail at something as well. So almost like in some way there's failure and success in both. The top of the deck here is we have the 5 of Swords. It's kind of like a fight where somebody's bullying and people are just walking away from the fight. It doesn't feel like something that's being walked away. This is something that's going to be continuous. And here the Queen of Cups, this means something that needs to get contained. So there needs to be some sort of interference or some sort of direct influence to stop the bittering or the fighting. So there is going to be this thing that's going to be continuing. So expect this issue to be in a news cycle. We do have here, when you start to look at the overall energy in general for the complexities of what may be, the first card that comes in on the left side here is the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups means happy times, right? Celebration. This is higher education. This is the promise of the American dream, right? However, that American dream has since then crushed a lot of Americans. This is the situation. This is the energy. This is why we are where we are right now. This is what we were fed. This is what we were fed in the 50s. Here you have the American dream and reality taking hold, taking shape, and things just coming to a burning halt. Things are being shot down. The future of the dream, the American dream, in essence, is dead. Right? And it's being put hold. I'm seeing like these little spikes, and there's a big thought process, a big cloud. And as these things start to rain through, it's almost like hellfire. And it's just popped hole, piercing hole. It's like the ozone layer. And just before you know it, it's openly exposed. The dream is what it is, just a dream. But more than anything, it's a dream that was fed to you. It wasn't your dream. It was a dream that was fed to you. How could you dream of something if you were told to dream that? And here you have is the 4 of Swords, the ending of the American dream, the ending of the plutocracy, the system that may be. I actually want to know what plutocracy is because I never heard of that, and that just came out of my mouth. Okay, let's see. Plutocracy. Plutocracy. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna. Plutocracy. Government. No, not plurality. Plutocracy. Maybe put an O here. Sometimes I discover words and my guys, because I talk and I channel through them. I sometimes say things I never say before or things I ever heard of. So, plutocracy. I don't know. Doesn't have anything on here on this. There is a Plutarch, which is a political thought primarily focused on the importance of virtue and civic duty in public life. He believed that engaging in politics was not only a citizen's duty, but also an opportunity for personal growth and betterment of society. Plutarch also explored different forms of government, including monarchy, democracy, and oligarchy, often favoring monarchy, but acknowledging the value of different systems depending on the circumstances. It's interesting how people start calling Donald Trump either have an oligarchy system or a king-like monarchy, right? Very interesting that I used the word plutocracy to only actually end up having the word, it's called Plutarch, which is kind of, I guess, in a way, is similar in notion, right? So it's here, virtue and civic duty. Plutarch emphasizes the importance of virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in a ruler and in all citizens. He believes that those who engage in politics should prioritize the common good and serve the community rather than pursuing personal gain. The types of government. Plutarch explores various forms of government, including monarchy, oligarchy, and democracy. While he favors monarchy under certain conditions, he also recognizes the strength of other systems, like democracy and the potential for them to be corrupted. The role of philosophy. Plutarch believed that the philosophy should be applied to public life. He saw philosophers as having a crucial role to play as an advisor, ruler, and contributing to the well-being of the state. So this is kind of like talking about, when he talks about philosophy, it's all about the education, the mindset, the mind, the creation, the ability to critically think. We're talking about the energy between Harvard and 45. It's interesting that this came up. And then we have here with the political participants. In his work, Political Participants, Plutarch provided advice on how to engage in public life, emphasizing the importance of character, wisdom, and foresight. Historical account. Plutarch's biography of famous Greeks and Romans offer insights into the political and social life of his time, providing an example of both virtuous and flawed leaders. In essence, Plutarch's political thought is characterized by a strong emphasis on virtue, civic duty, and the importance of leadership in shaping a just and prosperous society. So it makes a lot of sense, actually. I'm actually kind of blown away by that specific wording. Like I said, there was a reason why I had to look up the word. Anyway, that's the point. Go back into the reading. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look. After we just talked about the environment, the energy, now let's take a look and see who's who, because I don't know. This card here is coming in at the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is kind of giving me the energy here that this is 45. Is this 45? I'm hearing this is 45, yeah. So this is the Nine of Wands here. This is somebody who has a burnt ego. I'm hearing egotism. I don't know if that's a word, but it's aligned with ego, so I assume it is. We have here Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles is like handing over like something, handing over power, but also using money as a way to influence and formulate certain decisions or to bend the rule of order to your will, to make things bend down because they need money, right? Here you have it, the Page of Cups reverse. The Page of Cups reverse is basically understanding the nature of the world we live in. And understanding that this is not wishful thinking, this is with pure intent and pure intentions, right? The pure intention here, this is the Constitution, this is the High Priestess, right? The ability to gain higher knowledge, higher intel. But this feels very much above that. This feels very much with pure intent, right? It's telling me here that to use money and influence to bend things to your will and to your desire to get the desired outcome that you are seeking. The Page of Cups reverse and the High Priestess upright is saying that this is not wishful thinking. This is with certainty, with intent, that he plans to use the Constitution against the university. In some way, he's going to find something, a loophole, if you will, to use the Constitution, or even bystep the Constitution to get where he wants to go with his agenda. There's something here that has to do with a legal system, but there's a loophole here, like it's being exploited. There's something here in the legal system that can be exploited against universities and institutions. I'm getting like almost like there's a crackdown or something. There's a crackdown. It's not necessarily. It feels almost like protest. It's almost like he formulates a certain understanding of things. Like for example, he's using an executive order to say, "Hey, listen, this group of people, this is a new definition of a different word." And under that definition of the law that was passed or whatever, there was something that said, "Oh, when protests become very violent, or the government had the right to be able to use this and this against that protest in order to quell riots or whatever. He could be able to redefine a definition per that law and be able to redefine it and say, hey, misinformation. Even though it's not violent physical protest, it's violent against the mind of every single daily American, and therefore it's considered a threat to society. He can do something like that. He can redefine a definition in this legal term and legal statute to use the legal system against the system that is supposed to protect the university, to be able to protect the amendment, to be able to protect the Bill of Rights. We have here, when it comes to Harvard, we have the three of stories. The three of stories is, what will Harvard be known for? This is the legacy of Harvard. So Harvard in the past did some bad things. I don't know what Harvard specifically did, and I don't know if that is true or not. But this is what I'm getting in the cards. Whether we know this or whether we don't, that is not for me to decide. This is up for you to make that determine. If you know the answer to this, please, by any means, put that in the comment section below. But there is something here that's in the past. The past is relinquishing your karmic past by doing good. So whatever I'm getting from this is that the reason why Harvard is the only one standing up to 45 is because Harvard in the past had very dark energy and is starting to try to heal some of that dark energy and to become the best version of yourself. And the better way to do it is to acknowledge not only your darkness, but also acknowledge the greatness and the potential that you could become. And that is essentially what Harvard University is. And you have the Five of Pentacles. People will have to go. Despite them paying for the school, people will have to leave. Students will have to leave, right? It almost feels like in some way there is something that's going to force these students out of the university, despite them paying to attend the university. And here you have it, the Two of Pentacles reversed. And the Two of Pentacles reversed, a decision has been decided. So a decision is going to be decided in regards to Harvard when it comes to 45. So remember, 45 here is going to use the legal system against Harvard University. In some way, there's something here that he's using that's being formulated against Harvard University, and the decision has to be befell Harvard. Now, remember what I said, Harvard is going to bounce back. 45 cannot. But Harvard may suffer consequences because it's not able and willing to bend to the Ace of Pentacles of 45 chart. And here you have the Knight of Pentacles. Once again, coming in as the reading secondary to a decision having to be made on the last card here for Harvard. This is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. It means that the decision is coming forward. This is something that has already been put in motion. So we're not aware of it yet, if it ever happens yet, but it seems to be that it's coming soon, or an executive order has been drafted and it's waiting to be signed into law. So it does feel very much so like it's going to be happening pretty soon rather than later. And that is why Harvard is going to have to make a decision here in its long-term longevity. The question is, will it stand for itself and be able to heal the darkness of its past and bring goodness and be able to be rewarded by it by being rejuvenated back, or will it formulate itself back into its original dark path and will it stay there? That's the question that yet to be remain. But it does feel very much so that there is a change coming between the education system, between Donald Trump versus Harvard University. Alright guys, and this is pretty much it. I think we'll have a lot of information in today's video. I'm actually really impressed by it. So anyway guys, thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe to the bell icon, and share this video with others. It really helped the channel tremendously. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, peace out. I love you.